Hi, my name is Kyan Campbell, and I'd like to review the Dunkin Hearts Love social media campaign. Really quickly, before I dive in to reviewing the campaign, I wanted to recap the brand transformation just to make sure there's no confusion when I go back and forth between Dunkin' Donuts and Dunkin'. The 2018 brand transformation dropped the donuts from Dunkin' Donuts to just Dunkin', to focus on the brand having other options in addition to donuts. What I thought was interesting about the transformation 2 years after the Dunkin Hearts Love campaign in 2016 was that the company started to ease consumers into seeing just Dunkin' and being able to think of Dunkin' as representative of the company well before implementation of the new brand identity. So now I'd like to go on to the objective of the Dunkin Hearts Love campaign. The Dunkin Hearts Love campaign goal was really February fuel for Dunkin's overarching social media strategy to encourage their social media followers, loyal customers to engage with the brand by starting discussions on Instagram posts and Facebook, Facebook Live, to the clever pun post that's value added content that followers can share to ultimately strengthen that brand loyalty. So the Dunkin Hearts Love campaign played into that overarching strategy, connecting with consumers by creating a venue for engaged couples to tell their story and potentially win $10,000 for their wedding from Dunkin. And over to the right is the contest overview and what the requirements for entry. Based on my analysis of the Dunkin Hearts Love campaign, I do not believe the campaign was as successful as it could have been. It did not reach its full potential. As far as the metrics, when you think about gauging the performance of a social media campaign, reach was low, impressions was low, lack of overall engagement. For example, going back into 2016, there were 0 posts promoting the contest, contestants who had entered the contest, or even the contest winners on Instagram and Twitter. There was one video on Facebook Live, but the campaign itself, Dunkin Hearts Love, was more of an afterthought mention. And the Facebook Live video was more of a focus on behind the scenes of Dunkin's test kitchen and how to make a Dunkin Heart donut. So there wasn't enough focus on the campaign to really engage consumers so they understood what the campaign was and how it added value to them. And then furthermore, another reason why I do not believe the campaign was as successful as it could have been was because compared to Dunkin's top competitor, when you think about Starbucks' February campaign partnership with Match.com, a campaign called The World's Largest Starbucks Date, Match.com provided visibility to the Starbucks campaign to their 30 million users. When you think about the reach there versus the combined followers on the Dunkin' social media channels, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, combined the followers do not reach 19 million. And some of the followers are duplicates, i.e. the same consumer would follow multiple social media channels of Dunkin'. So the reach, just in comparison to the top competitor, was not strong. Here I wanted to pull some of the social media posts. So one of the reasons that I did not think the campaign was successful was because of the lack of engagement and reach. And here from Twitter, we see only one post with the hashtag DDHeartsLove. And if you look at the date, the post was on February 27th, and the campaign itself with the contest entry ran from February 1st to February 6th. So this is well after the campaign contest timing. And then over here on the bottom, I wanted to show an example of how Dunkin posted during the campaign time frame, focusing the Instagram post on the product itself and no mention of the love contest. And then up top, I want to include a post from a year after the initial 2016 campaign, where a partnership between Dunkin and Us the Duo band did a Facebook Live with the February campaign. And I just wanted to point out that even though Us the Duo has 4.5 million likes, the partnership with Facebook Live with Dunkin only got 29 comments and 25 shares, so very low engagement there. Next, I'd like to go over how I think Dunkin could have improved the Dunkin Hearts Love campaign. So definitely room for improvement. In 2017, I dug into the following year campaign in February, and they did make improvements. They integrated more ways for consumers to engage. So they broadened reach, changing their February contest from the couple engagement focus of the 2016 year to shift to include more consumers with a contest campaign with the hashtag Dunkin Love, the campaign theme, the ultimate Valentine's gift of a $2,500 prize and a year's worth of coffee and donuts. And then Dunkin also increased consumer engagement by creating a Dunkin emoji keyboard available in the Dunkin app. So over here to the right, there's an example of the Dunkin emoji that you could use. And the XOXO has little donuts for the O, and the emoji face is holding Dunkin branded coffee cups. And then again, a bullet about Us the Duo performance on Facebook Live, leveraging exposure with the band that has a following of that 4.5 million. So even though it didn't have as much engagement as it could have, the effort was still there with the partnership, striving to get that engagement and reach. And then just to compare from 2016 to 2017 on Instagram, Dunkin went from a little less than 21,000 likes on Instagram average per post during the campaign timeframe to in 2017 nearly reaching 24,000 likes on average with posts in the February campaign timeframe. So the bullet points to the left, implementing improvements to their campaign game in February by integrating more ways for consumers to engage, definitely did lead to an improvement. To wrap up here, I wanted to go over just final thoughts after my analysis of the Dunkin Hearts Love campaign. One of the things I thought was very positive in avoiding alienating any of the Dunkin consumers was Dunkin stayed inclusive as far as avoiding specifying traditional gender roles in relationships or implying that the Dunkin Hearts Love campaign was only for same-sex couples. So for example, one of the photos posted on Instagram, pictured right, shows a couple, but you can't necessarily tell if it's, a guy and a girl or two girls. The focus is actually where it should be on the coffee, rather than the couple themselves, where it's blurred in the background. In addition to the improvements that Dunkin made in 2017, that I fully agree with, if I was a campaign manager in 2016, I would have went a couple steps farther to improve reach and engagement by making the contest more of a focal point. So, for example, featuring the top contending couples or the contest finalists in video posts, whether that be via Instagram with a short synopsis of their engagement story, or Facebook Live, considering the time in 2016 with the relevancy and how new Facebook Live was. Um, and then taking it a step even further by allowing the public fan base to vote for the contest winner based on the finalists. So just cons- including more consumers in the decision and making more connections. And with that, I conclude my analysis of the Dunkin Hearts Love campaign study. Hope you enjoyed.